Okay, so here we are, retail wrap number 10. And we've come a long way, 10 episodes. So if you watched last episode, you saw a lot was happening down at the DC warehouse. And as you can tell, huge project going on. So very exciting times for us ahead. But in this episode, we're going to talk about a few things that have happened in the week that was. There was a big announcement last week and most of you, I'm pretty sure, would see it. I saw this headline that said Drakes has signed a deal with Metcash. Fake news.
You are fake news.
So the reality is we have signed a temporary arrangement to get supply from Metcash until September 2019 or until the warehouse is ready, which will be September 2019. Drakes is Metcash's largest wholesale customer in SA and it accounts for 3.5% of food and grocery sales in South Australia. Our Queensland stores will continue to pull from the Metcash DC for another 5 years, where we account for 3.8% of Metcash's food and grocery sales in Queensland. As you can see, we've got a pretty large business here in South Australia. We need to make sure that all parties were happy with the current supply agreement. So we have entered into a 5-year supply agreement with Metcash in Queensland. And we hope to continue our long-standing relationship with Metcash. In January 2018, Thomas Foods experienced a devastating fire in their Murray Bridge facility, which burnt the whole facility down. This has not tempered Thomas Foods at all. They have announced that they are going to build a state-of-the-art warehouse in Murray Bridge, which will employ 2,000 people. I had a chance to speak to Darren Thomas to hear his thoughts on what's coming. So Darren, what's going on here?
Well, JP, it's a great day today. We've just announced the Murray Bridge rebuild. Something we said day one that we would be rebuilding, we'd be back bigger, better and stronger. Drakes have been a big part of our business, and what I want to do first of all to you, JP, and to your father, to thank you very much and all the team, because from day one you stuck with us when I'm sure many of my competitors would have been crawling over themselves to work with you. You stuck by us and that gave us the confidence to move on. Not only the confidence to move on, but to rebuild. So that's something really important, and my father and I and all the team at TFI really appreciate your support.
Well, it's a very nice thing to say. I think someone's cutting some onions around here. So we're proud to have Thomas Foods as a supplier partner, and we're really looking forward to seeing this project being completed. It's not only going to be a healthy thing for the state, it's going to be a fantastic thing for Murray Bridge. A partnership between payment startup Flexa and Gemini, which is owned by the Winklevoss twins. I wonder if they ever got over the Facebook thing. May soon see the use of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies being used more regularly in the retail world. Flexa is convincing retailers such as Whole Foods, GameStop, Baskin Robbins to reconfigure their digital scanners to allow them to read the cryptocurrency wallet app Spedden. Now, we tried to download the app Spedden, but it doesn't work in our region. So if the Winklevoss twins are watching, inbox us. We'd be happy to give it a trial in Australia. Spedden works with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash and Gemini, and allows retailers to accept cryptocurrency as payment, or it can automatically convert into cash to process the transaction. To pay, their customer opens up Spedden app on their phone and scans much in the same way they would for Apple or Samsung Pay. Retailers benefit from the chance of lowering commission fees. So the problem with Bitcoin in the past has definitely been the speed it takes for the transaction. I was in Germany 2 years ago and I've bought a coffee with my Bitcoin. Process did take a long time, and I'm sure things have got a lot better since then. So the speed is the key. You all would have heard that when Bitcoin was going to the moon, everyone was getting excited. Then as soon as it went up, it went down. That's not really uncommon in any form of marketplace. What goes up must come down. Well, Bitcoin crashed, and in recent weeks, Bitcoin's having a bit of a run. It seems to be gaining a lot more momentum, and it seems to be that people are starting to give it a little bit more trust again. The real danger with the crypto is the volatility that it does have. You can have crypto change by 50% in one day, just like that. So this payment system looks like it snaps a transaction as a timestamp, which means you'll get paid at whatever the rate is for that second. So naturally, the Winklevoss twins have an answer to this, and they have got their Gemini dollar, which holds at $1. This is called a stable coin, and there are other stable coins on the market, but they've got theirs called the Gemini dollar. And I think that's to go on their trading platform, Gemini. Do you reckon they're Geminis? No, what's a Gemini?
Gemini is the twins, Pallister and Potts, known as the Dioscuri.
Because they haven't made enough trademark of being twins yet.
No.
Does anyone know their first names?
If you do, put it in the comments below because obviously we can't be bothered looking at Google. Last week, Coles and Woolies both announced that they will be shifting their focus away from a high-low strategy and will instead be focusing on the everyday low pricing strategy in order to maintain a more consistent pricing across the stores. According to Nielsen's data, 38% food and grocery products are sold at discount in Australia at an average discount of 27%. This makes Australia the most promotional food and grocery market in the world, at a cost of $51 billion a year, with an estimated $11.3 billion of that being deemed as unnecessary promotional activity. Let's have a bigger deep dive into the high-low and EDLP strategy. Here we are with sales strategist Sarah Armstrong, and she's going to give us a bit more information on the difference between an EDLP strategy or a high-low strategy. There's a lot of our audience actually would know the difference of that, but there is a lot that also don't. So we're going to have a bit of a deep dive into that. So welcome, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
What is the difference between a high-low strategy in pricing or an EDLP strategy?
Okay, so EDLP stands for everyday low price. So what it basically means is rather than having a price on the shelf at one point and then you promote lower than it, what an EDLP does is it actually sets a new low price, and that price doesn't waver at all. So it's sustained for a period of time. High-low means you've got a shelf price of a product, but often what you'll get is an overlay of a deep discount from the supplier and also the supermarkets, which means that they go down to a promoted price point lower than the shelf. Often what they'll do is set a particular price point that the market feel comfortable with, that creates value for the customer, or the perception of value at least, and so therefore the consumer is more likely to come into your store because they know that they can get a myriad of products at a set price every day of the week.
So in your point of view, do you think customers actually want an EDLP strategy or a high-low strategy?
I think that the market these days is definitely shifting towards EDLP. So I think the reason that it's shifting towards EDLP is because it makes the shopping experience easier. If you, again, take your own self as a shopper and you think about what it's like when you're making a choice, if you've got 3 supermarkets that you can choose from and you know that one of those supermarkets has really consistent pricing and you deem that product to be at a value offer, then you're likely to go and shop there because it makes your decision really easy. So if you can get the products that you want, but at a price that you're prepared to pay and you consider them valuable, then you'll go in there. As opposed to a high-low option where there's lots of deep discounts, it's pot luck, right? If you buy a particular brand of something, you go in, the chances of you getting that product on promotion, sometimes every few weeks, sometimes every couple of months. So it's a bit more fickle.
Thank you very much for giving us that insight. Hopefully it helps everyone that's watching it. If they didn't know, it's a little bit more thorough.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
When you look at which strategy is best, we've had a high-low strategy all of our history of being in the supermarket game. Aldi comes to town and they go strong on an EDLP strategy, and Coles and Woolies follow suit. So when we get that chance to have a look at what's going on with what strategy we're going to do, well, who knows? So there you have it, Retail Wrap number 10. Do appreciate everyone watching and sharing, and follow if you like. Leave comments below and make sure you inbox us if you have anything that you want us to talk about. Really appreciate it. Number 10, we hope to do number 11 soon. Oh, another year? Oh, right, you're not going to be ready for another year.
Yeah, that's why it's just a temporary continuation.
Oh, my dude, you just got praise. You can come through.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
We're so proud to have Thomas Foods as a supply partner, and we're really looking forward to this project getting off the ground.
It's getting off the ground, being completed. They're already starting.
Damn it, I wanted to put Elise in that one. You just missed that one as well. We've had a ball putting these together. It's a lot of hard work for me because I do it all by myself.
Get